Okay, so this is kind of looking like, there's this big loop here, and there's some stitches that are off the needles, and some that are off, but this yarn doesn't look right, and what's going on? So what likely happened is that a row got unraveled, which is what this loop is representing, is a row of stitches that came off and out of their, stitch, status or whatever. So luckily this can be saved. You'll have to undo a little bit of work, but not much, but this is a good troubleshooting skill to learn. So what we're going to do is essentially unknit some of these stitches to get back to the place where we can get these stitches over here back on our needles. So to start with, we'll check and see where the working yarn is. So it looks like it's on this stitch here. Again, I'm not sure if this is exactly in the example that I'm going off of, but in this case, this stitch is, the working yarn is on, is right here. You can kind of see. So what we're going to do to unknit a stitch, or as they like to call it, it's tinking, T-I-N-K, because that's knit spelled backwards. So what you're going to do is, with the needle with the stitches on it, put it in your right hand, and then with the needle in your left hand, you're going to go into the stitch like this, in between the two V's, and you just kind of push through, and then you pull your working yarn out and off of this needle and out of the stitch. So now you've kind of unknit the stitch and put it back on the left needle. And let's see what's going on here. Working yarn is also, so we're going to do the same thing. You go into the stitch over the left strand and kind of through, pull your right needle out and kind of pull the working yarn out. And we're going to do that all the way across the row until we get back to the beginning. All right, and the last stitch is sometimes a little hard to see, but it's still going to be the same thing. You put it through the stitch over the left strand, push it all the way through, take your right needle out, and pull the working yarn out. So it should look like that. And then we're going to flip it over, and we're going to do the same thing to get back across to the side that was having problems. Okay, let's see what we have going on. Oh, the working yarn now is all the way over here. So it looks like this stitch just needs to be transferred over. Again, you're going to go through over the back strand and just push the needle through and drop this one off. So all you've done is slip that stitch from the right needle to the left needle. Now to kind of see what we have going on. So it looks like the working yarn is over here, but it looks like we might be able to pick up these loops without too much trouble. So you can kind of see in this stitch, there's this bump that goes over the top. There's this loop over here, And then the loop is kind of sticking out, and you can kind of work your way into the stitch. You want to go kind of from the back to the front, so that when you pick it up, the front strand is kind of on the right, and it looks like a knit stitch that you've done before. And then same with this loop, you kind of see where the stitch is and kind of pick it up out of there. Same, this loop is a little bigger, it's easier to see. Kind of pick it up like that. And then it's kind of sometimes hard to tell on the end stitch. So if you're not sure, you just put it on and see, does it kind of look the same? See, like these are all knit stitches here. This one looks kind of funny. So I'm going to pull that loop out. Oh, see, no, now we've got the working yarn is in this stitch. So what we can do is just pop this stitch on. Kind of doesn't matter for an end stitch like this. It probably goes this way. And then we can just knit this stitch as normal, and we are back in business. So hopefully that helps a little bit, and good luck.